On Wednesday, Ukraine proposed direct talks between President Volodymyr Zelensky and Russia's Vladimir Putin within weeks. However, Moscow downplayed the chances of progress during a new round of talks in Istanbul. A Russian negotiator said Russia agreed to another prisoner exchange with Ukraine and suggested short ceasefires to recover dead and wounded soldiers. Turkey, the host country, urged steps toward a lasting ceasefire and peace deal, but the Kremlin remained cautious after more than 3 years of war. Ukraine's lead negotiator, Rustem Umerov, told reporters that the top priority was to arrange a meeting between the two presidents. Kyiv proposed holding the talks by the end of August, with US President Donald Trump and Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan also participating. Moscow's chief negotiator, Vladimir Medinsky, said the talks were long, but the sides remained far apart. He confirmed both countries agreed to exchange 1,200 prisoners each, and that Russia offered to return the bodies of 3,000 fallen soldiers. He also repeated Russia's proposal for short 24 to 48-hour ceasefires to allow medical teams to collect the wounded and commanders to retrieve soldiers' bodies. The two sides previously met in Istanbul in May and June, agreeing only on prisoner and body exchanges. Trump recently gave Russia 50 days to end the war or face sanctions, but the Kremlin has shown no willingness to compromise. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said, "No one expects an easy road, it will be very difficult." Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan opened the meeting by saying, "Our aim is to end this bloody war as soon as possible," adding that a ceasefire is the first step toward peace. A Ukrainian source said before the talks, "Everything depends on whether Russia stops making ultimatums and takes a constructive stance. That will determine if results are possible." Moscow has insisted much work is needed before talks between Putin and Zelensky can happen. The two last met in 2019. After the previous talks, both sides exchanged draft peace terms, which the Kremlin called diametrically opposed. The two sides hold very different positions. Russia demands Ukraine retreat from 4 regions Moscow claims to have annexed in September 2022. A demand Kyiv rejects. Ukraine refuses to negotiate over territory until a ceasefire is in place and will never recognize Russia's claims, including Crimea, annexed in 2014. Russia's full-scale invasion since February 2022 has devastated eastern and southern Ukraine, killing tens of thousands of soldiers and civilians. As talks proceed, the White House is pressuring Russia to compromise. Trump set a September deadline for a peace deal or sanctions. Despite multiple calls with Putin,